Moral Maze every Monday. Wow, alliteration galore. It's quite fitting, isn't it? Remembrance Day. People giving their lives to defend freedom, the right to have opinions. Often people who are more morally conservative are silenced today, and that's so fundamentally wrong. Chantal Joes from Campaign Life Coalition joins us every now and again. Yeah. Good to see you here. There are some very, very heavy stories, man, here, but this one, I just want to get this one out of the way. Michael Robertson says it's his constitutional right to take upskirt photos.
Constitutional rights.
Tell me more.
Unborn don't have any, but hey, if I want to take a picture of a woman in a private area, it's not private because if he can see it while walking up the stairs on a subway, then he should be allowed to take a photograph of it.
We have a clip. I'm not sure how bad this clip is, but let's have a look, please.
There was no allegation that he reached anything under, had a hidden camera or a shoe camera or a mirror or anything of this sort. So there's no suggestion that he said, hey, look at this, I'm going to take a picture of this. If you're seated on the train and you have exposed areas of your body, I think even the Commonwealth concedes that what you've exposed is open to plain view, and you lack an expectation of privacy in that. For example,
gotta love lawyers. Yeah. So he was taking photographs up the skirts of women.
Yes.
And what happened in the end?
Well, in the end, right now, they're trying to work out something.
It's still going on.
It's still going on, and they are trying to argue that this is not a peeping Tom story, and that the law in the U.S. needs to change to protect rights such as itself. That woman, who is his lawyer and a woman, thinks that if a clothed person reveals a body part, whether it was intentional or unintentional, he or she cannot expect privacy.
Well, she's doing it for money. I'm sure she'd do all sorts of things if she's paid. But so you deal with this sort of guy by putting him in prison with a group of bikers for a couple of days. That's the best way. And don't do it again. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's absolutely wrong. But people are they're using the Constitution to try and justify his perversion.
This. And this is what my big issue is, that we think that this is a right, and we're going to waste time and energy and discussing this sort of nonsense where people like this just need to get themselves sorted out once and for all.
Okay. Just going to guys in control room, turn the camera off that's under the desk. Okay, good. Sorry, we left it on for this interview. Now, my favourite person, Dan Savage, aching old hypocrite, who's a colossal bully. Abortion should be mandatory for 30 years for population control. He's not only stupid, he's quite malicious too, isn't he?
Ridiculous. I mean, last time I was on the show, we got to talk to him again because he decided that he was going to be on the show called A Sex Box, and now he's back, better than ever, in Sydney, Australia, as a part of the Festival of Dangerous Ideas.
Well, let me stop you there, because we also have a clip, not up his skirt, but a clip of him saying something ridiculous. Please play it.
You know, I'm pro-choice. I believe that women should have the right to control their bodies. Sometimes in my darker moments, I'm anti-choice. I think abortion should be mandatory for about 30 years.
I'm saying incredibly witty. If they discovered the gay gene, I mean, there isn't such a thing, but if they did discover a gay gene, do you think he'd still want compulsory abortion for 30 years?
What if he wanted to have a kid, him and his partner, and then we said all gay children, you know, if they should not be allowed to adopt, and this is our way of controlling the population for them. I mean, he would want his rights. I mean, this man isn't about any sort of choice. He just wants to be about death. And I mean, it sounds very over the top, and that's his rhetoric, over the top. And I certainly hope he's being hysterical and funny, and he's just trying to get attention. But it's not funny.
There's something important here, though, because he has a right to make those. I mean, I fully protect and support his right to be an idiot and say these things. But he doesn't agree with... He has tried to censor people, close them down. He's launched personal vicious campaigns against politicians who disagree with him. So, I mean, he is an appalling hypocrite.
And what's hysterical is right before this, he gets into an argument with Peter Hitchison over who is more authoritarian, free-thinking liberals or religious conservatives.
Oh, was Peter Hitchens on that panel?
Yeah, he was.
He's a friend of mine.
He was actually on there,
Good for
and he made several great points. And when one of the guest audience members asked him what's the most dangerous idea, he actually said, well, it would be the idea of thinking that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. And the whole audience laughs, thinking it's a joke. And he goes, no. He goes, if we actually believe that, and that our whole being and this whole universe actually made some sense, that would be a dangerous idea.
You use the word hysterical. Do you know the origin of the word hysterical?
No. Let's hear it.
It's Greek, obviously. It's the womb. It's rather pertinent. What else do we have here? Controversial tell-all teen sex exhibit headed to Kitchener. I've been in Kitchener 3 times in the past 10 days. I didn't see it.
You missed it.
I did.
Darn it.
Yeah.
You'll have to head back.
You got 30 seconds. What's it about?
It's the same thing as what you saw out in Ottawa. It's the exact same show that they're moving across the country. It happened. Well, in Ottawa, they were presenting it, and you know the government pays about $30 million tax-funded money to go towards museum exhibits, and one of them is to have a tell-all sex story, and it's supposed to be scientific, and it's not scientific. It's trying to make sex and oral sex and anal sex and sex without repercussions totally normative, and that's exactly what's happening. And they're bringing it out to Wholesome Kitchener, where now the students will have a, you know, scientific, biologically driven version of sex.
See, I always thought that oral sex was someone saying, oh no, I've got a headache, but apparently it's something entirely different. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.